Here it is, the new Tacoma.
The size of this screen.
Yeah, it's massive.
It's just fun to hit stuff.
Yeah, there's tons of things. Look at that.
Clear search history.
Yeah.
Why would I use that?
What do you mean?
Why would I need to clear my search history?
Because people can see the things that you've searched on this or any device.
Really?
Yes.
What sort of stuff would be the issue for them to find?
Well, I mean, like XXX, like dirty movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh. You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is the new Toyota Tacoma.
The Tacoma, endearing enough to get its own two-syllable bite-sized nickname.
Coma?
No, Taco. Anyway, it's been a sales leader of the mid-size truck game for decades, and now, in its fourth generation, it's all new. No more V6. Instead, two very potent 2.4-liter four-cylinder turbocharged options, and a manual transmission is still available. There's a new interior and even more trims to choose from. Like, there's tons, ranging from the cheapest SR trim at $34,700 US and going up over $50,000 US in the top trims before adding any options. And yes, it's got some pretty heavy competition. Namely because it seems like all the manufacturers are putting more into this class of truck than ever before. And in our minds, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Because if you think about it, the traditional class of half-ton or full-size trucks over the years has been getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Which is interesting because this, which is a mid-size truck, is about the same size and dimensions as a full-size truck was when we were kids.
Speak for yourself.
What do you mean?
As you know, I grew up on the mean streets of London.
Yeah.
And full-size trucks are to London as Godzilla was to Tokyo.
Oh.
If we saw one of those, we would be running the other way.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, what I was saying was that this has a similar wheelbase to full-size trucks from 20 years ago. It actually has similar numbers like payload and towing capacity as those trucks. It actually has more power than the V8 Tundra from 2006.
Right.
So why are we driving around like idiots in full-size trucks?
We're not. You drive an F-150.
I know, I'm an idiot. That's what I said.
What's happened here?
Huh?
What's that?
Nothing. Shut up. Get in the car. Okay, so do you know what I mean though? Because this isn't actually a small truck.
No, it doesn't feel small either. It's like it's high to get in.
Yep.
And then looking over the hood, it feels a bit bus-like.
It's a bit, yeah, but at the same time, this is a comfortable size for a pickup truck to just drive around. Like, these are canyon roads.
Yeah.
I can tell you for a fact in my F-150, I would not be comfortable and I would be going very slowly.
Well, this isn't slow.
No.
This has 278 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque.
It's not insignificant, is it?
And that's not even the most aggressive engine option for this car.
No.
Because if you go for the more aggressive trims, which we're testing hopefully in April,
Yep.
you get the iForce Max. And not only does it have a list of advantages that come with it, yeah, dude, that's quick. And that has 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque.
Those are actually very significant numbers.
Very significant.
But I mean, for everyday driving, this It's honestly not slow.
Yeah, I can't imagine this feels like a downgrade at all from the V6.
No, it doesn't. I mean, there's a little bit of turbo lag, obviously.
But with that turbo also comes some insane turbo sounds. Here's a few seconds of what you'd hear if you stuck your head in the engine bay. So shocking that we asked you all on Instagram to guess what was making those sounds before this video came out, and some of the suggestions were wild, including things like a Pagani Huayra or a Chiron. Nope, base 4-cylinder Tacoma. What a world.
And this has got a new 8-speed transmission, because the old one was like a pretty ancient 6-speed.
Right.
So this is actually geared very nicely for around town. On the highway, you put your foot down, it's not gonna throw you back in your seat. But, but if you're exiting a mall parking lot,
Which we have done.
we did that.
We've been living with this.
Yep.
We didn't go on the traditional launch.
No.
And it has been surprisingly easy to live with.
It's easy to steer, it's easy to park, it's easy to drive, it's easy. And that's the point that I'm making, is that if you get a car like this, which can tow how many thousand pounds?
You mean truck?
Sorry, woof, careful. How many thousand pounds?
It's up to 6,500 if you get the trims that allow for that.
So with that amount of towing capacity, that's what trucks used to be able to do in the class above. That's what this is now.
But counterpoint, does that
Why
mean
are we all driving around in the ridiculous thing?
Because we've upgraded. What if you want something that tows 12,000 pounds?
Who's towing 12,000 pounds?
You have an F-150.
I do. I have an F-150, and I tow a trailer that probably is about 10,000 pounds, so I actually need it. But most people tow RVs, and they tow boats and stuff. Those don't weigh more than 5,000 pounds for the most part. No matter what we do, we've tried and failed multiple times. We've tried to convince people to not drive pickup trucks every day because
you bought one though.
I know. I'm stupid. We've been over this because it doesn't make any sense for many reasons. One being rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Rear-wheel drive. Obviously, there is a 4-high option. There's transfer cases available in these, and there is going to be a like an automatic continuous 4-wheel drive like my F-150 has.
Right, but this trim we're in is the TRD Sport.
Yes.
So its thing is that it has TRD tuned dampers.
So there's like 5 different types of dampers you can get in these cars.
There's some of them great names. You got Fox. You've got Old Man Emu, which I know is a legacy damper, but it's still hilarious.
Yeah.
But the result of the TRD Sport dampers is that it is surprisingly controlled. There's still body on frame, motions and vibrations.
Yes.
They're not jarring, but there's just that extra little bit of bobble.
It's okay though. I mean, I come as a guy who apparently idiotically owns an F-150, according to my own theory. This is a lot nicer ride than an F-150. The F-150 jiggles and it bangs and it feels big and stupid.
Well, we've also got coil springs on this one.
That's a big thing, yes.
Yeah.
You can get leaf springs.
On the base.
On the base.
Yeah, they want to make a Tacoma for everyone, and there are 8 billion trims.
Well, they are planning on selling this thing in huge numbers across the world.
And it's become an icon.
It has become an icon.
Before we discuss how it looks, why don't I just quickly drive?
I don't think that's a good idea.
No?
No, because of the event.
There was no event.
There was an event.
You said you weren't going to say anything.
And I still won't.
Okay.
So last night I was driving with Billy, and it was dark and raining in LA, and Billy decided that it was a good idea to turn the traction control off in a truck with no weight in the back. It's rear-wheel drive. And we did a couple of 360s on a 6-lane semi-highway.
It wasn't 360s. I spoke to Billy.
Okay.
And it was not. It was a lot of things. And
Yeah.
And he said it was very scary.
Yeah.
But he said it was all in the name of experimenting and science. So technically, he's a thought leader.
Right. Anyway, let's talk about the Tacoma and the way that it looks, because it looks like a Tacoma.
Yeah, considering this is a ground-up new vehicle,
Genuinely ground up. I poked them on that one.
You did.
Right? I said, because we've heard ground up a lot lately, and it's literally not ground up.
It's adopted the modern Toyota design language. It definitely looks a little bit more baby Tundra.
Yeah.
It still has a non-functional hood scoop from the previous generation. It's got fake vents here.
Yep.
Real air curtain things for the wheels. But
Speaking of curtains.
Yeah, that's to help fuel. That's for mileage and fuel economy.
Doesn't look good.
No, you can just take it off.
You can take it off.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people will, and I believe there's some that don't come with it because there's going to be skid plates and accessories and stuff.
Yeah, if you're a Tacoma nerd, you already know how many different ways you can spec your Tacoma.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is they've still done this coming out wide for the fenders here.
Yep.
It's still from above, sort of looks like a dumbbell. Well, there's some fun new stuff going on at the back here. So this is a short bed, as optioned. But if you get the fancier trims than we have today, this is an actual button on either side.
It's not been ticked. Yes.
No, it hasn't been ticked, no.
Yeah.
But it electrically puts down
the
tailgate and up, and up. Currently, as it stands, this is just hydraulically assisted.
Just a little bit assisted.
You can get a 400 watt power supply there.
That is incredible because...
Well, no, 400 is not crazy.
No,
The previous one had 400 watt.
But what's incredible is that they've obviously noticed just how important that was to the F-150 and its sales, because there's going to be, I believe, a 2.7 kilowatt?
2.4, I think.
2.4 kilowatt,
Yeah.
2,400 watts. That's all you need to power a campsite, some power tools, a microwave,
Yeah,
lights.
that's if you get the iForce Max engines.
Yes, but like even a good 400 watt outlet back there is it's a perfect move for like camping and fun and utility and all that stuff, right?
This is what we've asked for a lot when it comes to redesigns. Refresh it slightly, keep it what it is.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
It's still a body-on-frame truck with a solid rear axle, and they've kept it narrow. They resisted the urge, which every other truck in history apparently has done, and get bigger every generation. And it's still narrow enough that you could fit it in a garage and still get out your doors.
There you go. What it did need some refreshing on significantly was the interior.
Very, very much.
And they've done that with some added flair.
Okay, get in the passenger seat in case Billy accidentally decides to drive away.
Billy's not touching that steering wheel ever again.
Okay.
New Toyota.
Well, almost all the way new. Some of these are still like pre-production kind of development parts,
Oh,
right?
the materials, yeah.
Yeah.
But look at that.
That is good to go.
That is a giant
Yep.
14-inch screen.
Massive. It's like maybe 10% too big,
Yeah.
right? Like it's...
No, but when you're driving, it's good. You can just reach across. It's reduced the latency of like looking away and clicking.
It's funny because even though they made the screen bigger, they didn't use the real estate to fit more stuff in it.
No,
because
CarPlay's the most interesting.
Yeah,
Boom!
it's just huge,
Yeah.
right? And even in any of the menus of the car, if you click on like look how big the words are. They just literally zoomed in on a screen in total.
It's the phone that old people want to have.
It's exactly
Yeah.
what it is. Honestly, I don't mind though, because you can hit this with a big glove on, and that's what these are for too, right? You get these big volume knob,
Yes,
big climate
they've
control.
kept the things that should be physical.
Yes.
There is a part of this where if you looked up garish in the dictionary,
Yeah.
you would find this blue.
That's the blue. Yeah.
You don't have to option this, but seeing it now, it kind of looks like a bad wrap job.
It does look a bad job. There's other options. You don't have
Yeah.
to get the blue, but like this is just it's too vibrant, and it's not like it's like a tone match to the outside of the truck in any way. There's no other.
No.
It's just this panel and these bits right here.
Yeah, to clarify, it's not badly done.
No.
It
just
looks
the color
great. It's just
choice.
the color is just a strange
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
There's some buttons missing here. This is all the off-road stuff that we don't have
Yes.
in the TRD Sport.
But I do have the drive mode selector, right? And there is sport, normal, and eco. Sharpens everything up a little bit. And in the transmission, there's a sport mode, which just downshifts quicker.
Okay.
Which, pretty straightforward.
Giant gear lever.
Way too big. It does,
No, gloves, mate.
Get gloves.
Think
I
of
get
it.
it.
I know this is for you. It's difficult because you're just so mollycoddled. But think about big
that's good.
workman gloves where you
Big.
have no dexterity at all.
You don't know anything about that.
The Edward Scissorhands has to be able to use this. That's their testing process.
Steering wheel? It's truck steering wheel.
Strucky.
Gauge cluster, digital. Nice.
12.3 inches of beautiful digital space.
Yep. Okay, so This is really well done. I don't have any issues with it whatsoever.
Driving position, comfortable.
Driving position is totally fine.
Ridiculous amount of head height.
Yeah.
I know we don't normally do front seat testing, but Harrison's 6'6" and has plenty of headroom when sitting in here. It's definitely tight if you're 6'6", but full-grown adults.
But he can fit.
Yeah, full-grown adults that can't reach the top of the ceiling.
Again, why do you need a full-size truck? The width of it. Again, in here, it feels smaller. So actually, when you were driving this before Billy took over and spun out in a 6-lane highway, you said to me that this just feels like a full-size truck to you.
Yeah, if you suddenly woke up sitting in the driver's seat and no one told you what it was,
yeah,
it feels like a full size.
Yeah, no, I really, really like this class of truck right now. I think that if you're looking to buy a pickup truck just because you like pickup trucks and you want to like do some gardening and tow a boat, you truly do not need the Tundra. You just don't need the F-150.
No, maybe just get a Santa Cruz.
No, no, I want a body on frame, solid rear axle. I want a proper pickup truck. Billy knows.
But he don't know shit.
Somehow, in giving the Tacoma a new platform, a new interior, a more spacious cabin, new engine options, a new transmission, and a bunch more options still, it seems like they didn't change it at all. In fact, it might be the most changed, unchanged car we've ever tested. And that was by design. Considering the Tacoma is one of the most loved, most used, most reliable trucks ever made, maybe it was the only route they had. The new Tacoma is a breath of fresh, mid-sized air that's still very much a Tacoma, and one that's more customizable than ever. Thanks for watching.